I have just finished the Afghanistan series, considering everything that's been happening with our military and veteran families. And because Life Giver really is aimed at breathing life into service families as a whole, you guys know that I have a heart for first responder families as well. And during all of the riots and everything that was happening, a lot of our first responder families were definitely getting a lot of attention that they had been needing to have for a long time. And then I've had to shift and kind of swing the pendulum over to the military families to deal with what was going on in Afghanistan. And I felt like it would be a really great idea to balance things out by doing a mini series on first responders and what's going on in their world. Because I know we have a lot listening that are first responders. And some of you have reached out to me and asked, how do you best support the military families that are out there? And it's been awesome to see. And so I'm so thrilled to bring Sarah back. To be fully transparent, she's been on my heart for a long time. I did the Strength Finder with her and her husband, Kenny. And I know that she has this strength, the talent of communication, no pressure, Sarah. But I know she's an amazing communicator, and she's a different communicator than I am, which is one of the reasons why I really wanted to give her a new and fresh opportunity to communicate something different. So I'm going to stop talking. Sarah, welcome back to the Life Giver podcast. I'm so happy to see you again, my friend.
I'm so happy to be here again.
What would you say to those that might feel a little bit of hesitancy because of everything that came out in the last year and a half of maybe, I don't even know if they would know what they're concerned about, but maybe they're a little hesitant, a little afraid to listen to what you might be putting out as if it's going to be something that is pro law, pro first responder, or if it's going to be about racial division, or are we entering into those kind of conversations? And if we are, how do you feel about what you want to lead out on the messaging of things? So just in case there's somebody that's like, I don't know how I feel it, because they haven't had that experience of being around first responder families and seeing how those are bridged, what would you say to those that are like, ooh, what am I about to listen to? It's a tough question.
Yeah. I mean, offhand, I feel like my heart or my mission is more like, I feel like it's exposing the conversation in the sense of, though it may be directed to first responders, again, we're not necessarily sitting around talking about racial relations. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about why can't my husband sit in a public place anymore? How do we connect on a date night? A lot of things that I feel like the military community has grappled with in the sense of how do we adjust, how do we reintegrate? We don't have the language on a lot of that. So we're still trying to figure all that stuff out. What do we say to our kids? How do we talk to our kids about even what what their dads do, or how much risk do you let them know? And at what age, what's appropriate, and how do you, these are things that we're all wrestling with. So I feel like it's more of a window inside to the conversations, not so much an agenda or a certain, I feel this way, and so I'm going to pump this out, but more of listen to our conversations of how we grapple and how we figure out how to do this life well, because at the end of the day, it can consume your family, it can consume your life, and it can go really negative. But I also think too, if it's nurtured well, it can be a wonderful, I guess without a blessing, it can just be a wonderful thing to add to your life, a gift that I think about, especially with September 11th coming up. And I think about what it's like to watch someone go out the door and think about, was that the last time? And I don't always think about those things, but just having a job that that people kind of hate you and people could shoot you. There's just a reality of that. And so what do you tell your kids, or how do you live? Well, you know what? That's a gift, because I can tell you that most times, no matter how mad I am, even if we've got to hash it out on the phone on the way in, we try to fix it. And because we don't feel like we're promised tomorrow.
Sarah, thank you so much for joining me today. It's always an honor. I love the way that you make me laugh. She has positivity in her top 5 too, which means she's just like this ray of sunshine on that little farm that she has. And I just love every time that sunshine comes into my life in the form of Sarah. So so excited about what's to come. Thank you so much for joining me, Sarah.
Thank you, Corey. I'm so excited.